What's going on, everybody? Crypto Headquarters here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Ontology, what Ontology actually is and why. Despite the current bear market that we are in, Ontology is performing increasingly well over these past few weeks. So we're going to be talking about all of that and more throughout today's video, but first and foremost, I want to jump into the disclaimer that says, none of the information in today's video is investment or financial advice. This is just simply my personal opinion. Please do your own research before investing. Invest at your own risk. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Consult a financial advisor if necessary. As for transparency purposes, I am not invested into or hold Ontology in my portfolio at the time of making this video. But without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's begin talking Ontology. So Ontology is a relatively new cryptocurrency to see a listing over on coinmarketcap.com, getting its listing and becoming tradable on March 8th, 2018. And since then, Ontology has raised a lot of heads within cryptocurrency, and that's due to the fact that Ontology has been performing increasingly well amidst a very strong bear market that cryptocurrency has been experiencing for the last few months. With that, Ontology has rose from the price range between $1 and $1.50 all the way up to the $3 mark that we're seeing in today's video. With that, Ontology has nearly doubled its overall market cap to see a market cap of today just over $730 million. This puts Ontology within the top 25 of all cryptocurrencies worldwide, making it a notable cryptocurrency that people have been taking a look at. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what Ontology is, as well as why it could be a revolutionary blockchain project moving forward. Additional to the numbers that we're seeing here today, Ontology is available over on Binance, and that is the main exchange that most people are using. Also, Huobi, as well as a few other exchanges as well. Coming in at 14th here, we see KuCoin, as well as we have the Ontology Neo pairing, which I'm going to talk about and why that's important later in the video today. But you guys get the idea. Ontology has performing well against the US dollar, as well as it's performing very well against Bitcoin. As you guys can see here, Ontology in the last 24 hours has been performing up 10% against the price of Bitcoin. And as we know, Bitcoin generally determines where the market is going in the future, up, down, sideways, and has an adverse effect on where altcoins are at the moment. So to see Ontology doing well against the US dollar as well as Bitcoin has turned a lot of heads and increased interest in this cryptocurrency moving forward. Next, we're going to be jumping into what Ontology actually is. So I'm going to be using an article over on coincentral.com titled, "What is Ontology? Beginner's Guide?" And this was written by Aaron Gorsline on March 1st, 2018. This will be linked down in the description of the video, just as everything always is, so make sure to check it out if you're interested. But first and foremost, what is Ontology? So to give you guys the basics, Ontology was launched by a Chinese company on-chain in 2017. Ontology is a public platform for projects of all shapes and sizes, and is a giant step forward toward removing barriers between blockchain and the business sector. Ontology is a revolutionary in the sense that it allows businesses without previous knowledge of distributed networks to use blockchain technology. Right now, there is no way for businesses to integrate blockchain into their infrastructure without extensive knowledge of blockchain. So as it currently stands, Ontology is trying to solve the issue that is businesses integrating into blockchain. So while all industries and businesses can find some use of blockchain, whether it be now or in the future, there is a barrier to entry that is a few things. So as it currently stands, blockchain has seen small adoption. However, as many of us know, blockchain is a long ways out from becoming adopted on a global scale. But why is that? The reasons for why this has happened vary in length and explanation. However, one of the main barriers to entry is the fact that as it currently stands, blockchain is not exactly business friendly. What I mean by this is that there is no easy way for businesses to develop, code, and implement blockchain technology, further pushing back much of the adoption many people are hoping for. Couple that with the transparency of blockchain and the idea that there would be a lot of information that would go public if it were used on blockchain, something businesses generally are skeptical of. That, in addition to the general lack of understanding that is blockchain technology, and you have some of the reasons blockchain is struggling to get adopted. This is where Ontology comes into play. Ontology wants to tear down these barriers to entry that so many businesses are currently seeing if they wanted to integrate blockchain into their infrastructure, again, without the extensive knowledge of blockchain. So understanding that as well, current trust networks face a variety of issues, such as poor privacy protection, untapped data value, data management monopolization, and ineffective identity authentication information are all opportunities for blockchain. Ontology seems to resolve these issues with its solid trust ecosystem. A common theme throughout today's video is trust and how Ontology plans to solve that moving forward here. So basically, to start off today's video, Ontology is trying to solve many of the issues that currently plague the barrier to entry that is everything that I've listed thus far, such as the general lack of understanding, the fact that there's a lot of information that businesses don't want to go public due to the transparency of blockchain, and the fact that there is no easy way for blockchain for companies as well as businesses to integrate blockchain into their infrastructure. So with all of that said, let's begin talking about Ontology from a more technical stance as well as the Neo-Ontology relationship. Like I mentioned earlier, Ontology plans to allow for global adoption of blockchain technology through the implementations of the tools they've created, such as trust mechanisms, and tailor them to their business needs. Essentially, its blockchain protocol opens the door for global adoption of blockchain technology in corporations. It eliminates the learning curve and offers mass customization. So exactly what I was talking about before by bringing down the barrier to entry that is blockchain technology. But before I continue, I do want to shout out a video that is over on YouTube by the Cryptozombie, where the Cryptozombie explains what Ontology is and takes a more in-depth dive of what Ontology is, going into its white paper and explaining it to you guys in a more technical sense. This is an awesome video outlining what the Ontology project is, so make sure to check it out, as many of the themes you see in my video will also be in his video and vice versa. So that'll be linked down in the description down below for those of you guys who are interested. But basically, I want to talk about the Ontology and Neo partnership and the relationship that they share. Ontology and Neo are perfect partners in a hungry race to digitalize our world. Take a look at the video above for a pretty good overview of the project, like I mentioned before. The relationship between Neo and Ontology can be explained simply with the CEO of Onchain and the Neo co-founder Da Hongfei. So Da Hongfei obviously is the Neo co-founder, but he's also the CEO of the company that founded Ontology, which is known as Onchain. So with that, we have a partnership. That is only a partnership between Neo and Ontology. Not are they competing in any way, shape, or form, and they are completely separate. So as Hongfei said, he says, first I need to clarify that Neo and Onchain are separate entities. So Onchain doesn't own Neo, or does Neo own Onchain. They're separately funded. Neo was funded by the community and ICO, and Onchain is funded by a very famous financial group in China. So those are the differences between the two. They are basically only in a partnership. But what is this partnership? Well, over on the Cryptozombies channel, again on this video, this is extremely helpful in me making this video. The way he explains it is that Neo and Ontology are the children blockchain of the company Onchain. Ontology is going to bridge real-world industries and map them to the Neo ecosystem. So Neo and Ontology are going to complement each other in that regard. And if you guys want to learn more about this relationship, a quick Google search will do just that. However, I don't want to jump too much into this in the video, as there still is a lot to cover. But that basically is the relationship between Neo and Ontology, as well as Da Hongfei is actually not the founder of Ontology, as Ontology lists John Lee as the founder of Ontology over on the Ontology website over here. So a lot to consider here, guys, but that basically is the relationship between Neo and Ontology in a nutshell. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, a big theme with Ontology is trust. In fact, it's basically what Ontology is built off of, the idea of trust and verification of many of the things in today's society. So when we look at Ontology, we're going to be talking about the Ontology Trust Network and how critical it is for how Ontology actually works. So the diagram below is actually pulled straight from the Ontology white paper, something I recommend all of you guys check out when you get the time after today's video. However, if we start at the top here, we're going to see the Scenarios tab is way on the top of all of the layers of the Ontology Trust Network. And Scenarios, to me, is just another word for use cases. We have the verification of people, reputation evaluation, community management, data collaboration and exchange, verification of objects, financial services, equity management, etc. So all of these scenarios or use cases are how people are going to actually be able to use Ontology on top of the Ontology network. Beneath that, we have people, wealth, things, and organizations. This is where you're going to get the information to potentially verify people. So if you want to know the identity of somebody, this is where you're going to get the information to do so. Beneath that, we have the applications layer. This is where people are going to be able to create custom applications to move the Ontology network forward. These custom applications are going to fit a variety of different needs, or however they need to be able to plug and play with the Ontology network. Beneath that, we have modules and protocols. So this includes, like it mentions in the title, modules, protocols, SDK, and APIs. You're going to be able to build on top of the SDK, as well as you're going to be able to interact with the API and those data information bases, and this is how you're going to be able to interact with much of the Ontology network. Beneath there, we have the Ontology network chains, which is how Ontology is going to interact with other blockchains as well. So, as it's stated in the white paper, in order to meet the needs of different industries, the flexible design structure is modularized, pluggable, and easily expandable. As we can see, there's arrows going up and down, meaning that these are interchangeable depending on what you need or whatever companies plug into the Ontology network into what they actually need. What this means for Ontology is attempting to be universally adaptable for a wide range of functions. They hope to be the go-to source for verifying the accuracy and authenticity of things like identity or ownership. Companies like Facebook will be able to be easily plugged into Ontology for trust. So Ontology talks a lot in the white paper about pharmaceuticals and the whole medical industry and how they can benefit from the verification of trust as well as identity and everything else listed under the use cases tab or scenarios tab at the top of the network. And while they give an example here like Facebook, how they will be able to easily plug into Ontology for trust, that is just one of the few use cases that Ontology has. So if you're going to take anything away from this video and you've made it this far, take away the fact that Ontology is trying to not only take down the barrier to entry that many businesses see with blockchain technology, but they're also attacking the issue of trust and verification as well as the accuracy and authenticity of things like functions like identity and ownership. So a lot of things to take away from this video thus far. However, the main thing is trust and taking down the barrier of entry for many businesses. To sum up everything I've mentioned in today's video, I'm going to be going to the conclusion segment of today's article. So according to Ontology's white paper, they say sociologists put the number of people we trust at less than 100, showing that for most people, it takes time and effort to trust someone and get to know them. Ontology is looking to replace the current lengthy ways we gain trust and bring us forward with blockchain automation of trust. And they've shown a few use cases throughout the article today, especially with the Facebook one, as well as the pharmaceutical industry and medical industry that I've pointed out that they touch on in their white paper. Ontology will also work together with NEO to bridge the gap between blockchain technology and the real world. While NEO and Ontology have similar goals, like I mentioned before, they are not competition due to the fact that NEO focuses on digital assets and global smart economy, whereas Ontology focuses on trust, identity, data exchange, and authorization. Think of NEO and Ontology like peanut butter and jelly. They are mutually beneficial and put together, and they make a tasty sandwich. Finally, the team behind Ontology comprised of reputable cryptocurrency industry leaders with an already established history of success. And unlike many other blockchain projects, the Ontology team isn't just targeting the financial industry. They're focusing on insurance, government, medicine, IoT, and other industries during its growth, making it a wide-scale project with a lot of potential. With a relatively long-term presence in the blockchain industry and a clear vision of the project, it wouldn't come as a surprise to see Ontology work hand-in-hand with NEO to revolutionize the way we do business. So to give my concluding thoughts on Ontology, it is definitely an interesting project to look into. I think they have their goals set in the right place. I think they've made a lot of progress thus far, and the fact that their white paper is so complete and put together, and that as it's mentioned in Cryptozombies video as well, they are planning on coming out with, I believe, 5 individual white papers. Ontology seems to have all of their stuff put together very nicely. Their team is very established. They have a lot of experience within cryptocurrency and blockchain projects in the past, and I truly think that Ontology, especially with the direction that they're heading right now, is moving into the future with a full head of steam and is going to be potentially a huge disruptor within the privacy and trust industries, as well as industries that rely on those things right now. So a lot to consider here with Ontology. However, I do think that the fact that they're working with NEO and that they are not trying to compete with each other and they're trying to be mutually beneficial is going to prove to be huge in the future here. So I think I've rambled on enough in today's video. Basically, my opinions are on Ontology as follows. I think it's a very good project to look into at this current point in time. I think that the direction of the blockchain project is going in the right direction, as I mentioned before, as well as I think this is a very solid project overall. They're tackling an industry and they have a ton of transparency between their white paper and their team, as well as the fact that they're working with NEO, a reputable and established cryptocurrency who's doing great things overall. Before I jump into the outro of today's video, I do want to mention that I cover ontology from a very general, broad, and basic standpoint in today's video. So while this is not neither good or bad, I do want to link some other YouTube videos that were created on the platform here that touches on ontology and go more in depth into the technical aspect that I wasn't able to cover in today's video. The videos will be from DataDash as well as the Cryptozombie, as again, they just go more in depth into the white paper as well as the technical aspect. So while my video was perfect for people who want to get their feet wet in ontology or maybe just learn a little bit with all of the technical stuff included, I think that there is some value obviously in all of that stuff, so that'll be linked in the description down below. Now I'm going to get into the outro of today's video that says thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you guys comment down below what you guys' opinions are on ontology, and I'm going to jump into the disclaimer that says none of the information in today's video is investment or financial advice. This is just simply my personal opinion. Please do your own research before investing. Invest at your own risk. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and consult a financial advisor if necessary, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I am not invested into ontology at the time making this video and don't hold it in my portfolio. I almost forgot the transparency statement there, guys. But again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and have a great day.